Most people just buy whatever stock or bond funds their employer's 401k manager defaults to in their 401k. And they just kind of cross their fingers and hope for the best, right? Denny and I on this show talk all the time about how you can also invest through self-directed 401ks or self-directed IRAs, solo 401ks, et cetera, in passive real estate investment, because that is our background. That's what we get together and look at every month in the co-investing club. Today, we're going to push that boundary even further away from the norm. We are excited to speak with Greg Mohr. He's the best-selling author of Real Freedom, and he is the founder of Franchise Maven, where he teaches people how to buy and scale franchise businesses. So, Greg, first of all, welcome to the show. And second, I'm excited to hear your thoughts on how people can use their 401k funds to go out and buy and scale franchise businesses.
Brian, thank you very much for having me today. I appreciate it. Well, amazingly enough, Brian, the self-directed 401k plans are something that a lot of my people have never heard of before or even know about. That's how I started my business when I first got into franchising. So what you do with that is you have to have, first of all, the 401k plan from a previous employer. You can't do it with your own, or if you have an IRA plan, then you transfer it into a self-directed 401k plan. What that means with self-directed is that you can buy stock in any corporation, any C corporation that you want to, any corporation that has stock, which is the C corporations. So basically what you do, and I have people for this, but I'll just refer to it as this is what you do, that you create a checking account, like I did, Mohr Franchising. That was my original name, not too original, but the first name I had. So Mohr Franchise Checking Account. Simple as that. Now you've got your self-directed 401k plan, which is Mohr self-directed 401k plan, which is what I named it on that. I'm not too original in that respect. But what you do then is you buy stock in that C corporation. So you create a C corporation. I have people for that. I'm sure Brian does as well that can do that for you. And then once you created that C corporation on that, then you go, and it's pretty neat because when they created the C corporation for me, they actually sent me stock certificates. So what you do is you transfer the money from your 401k plan over into your checking account. And at the same time, you're buying those stock certificates. So you're buying stock in your own C corporation. And to keep it all legit, you got to fill out that little stock certificate there, which I had. You fill that out. And, there's a few. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I got my own stock certificate there. And it's actually pretty much as simple as that. There's a lot of benefits to it. There's obviously with everything else, there's give and take, good and bad on that. Most people think about the bad. We'll go with that first, is that the fact that now you're going to be taxed twice. So you got taxed on the income coming in from your business. And then when you take money out to pay yourself, then you're getting taxed again on that. So what I found, it was a great way to start the business out, because now I could use that money. I believe in myself. It's a personal decision, because that is your retirement money that you're using. So it's a personal decision that most people make. I believed in myself. I believed I could do that franchise that I got into. So I used it. And now you're getting taxed twice. So that's bad things. The good thing, once you start building up that business, you don't have to keep it as a C corporation. You can then, sell it off, or you can become another corporation. So what I did was, after I built up, I didn't need a whole lot to survive on. So after I built up a lot of my money into my checking account on that, then my CPA, my tax advisor, said, well, you got a lot of money in your checking account, but you can still start putting money back into it. It's just like any other 401k plan. You still put money back into it every year. You can put into it, you can grow that. Well, the other thing is that you do at the end of every year, your business is going to be evaluated. And we have people that do that as well, which means that your stock price is going to go up as you build up your business on that. So what happens is that if at some point in time you don't want to be the C corporation anymore, you want to go for more tax-friendly business, like what I did was an LLC taxed as an S corporation, since it's just me. So what I did is just buy back my shares of stock from the 401k plan, which is then tax-free, because you're just buying back shares of stock on that. So that's what I did with mine. If you go to sell your business, it's going to be the same way. The money that you use to sell the business, then it gets just transferred back in. You're just buying back shares of stock, and it goes back into the 401k plan, so you don't get taxed on that either. So there's a lot of benefits. If you have employees, you can offer them 401k plans as well. Many different things that you can do, good and bad. But the best part about it for me is that you don't go into debt when you do it that way, and you build up, the shares of stock build up and the value of your business builds up over time, which is great because I put a lot more back into the 401k plan than I had to begin with, like 10 times the amount.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, especially, having that money that you already have set aside, using that instead of borrowing a business loan to go out and buy a franchise business. And of course, you can also open a Roth 401k as well to do this, right? And avoid taxes that way, at least, on the business income, the future business income of it. Although I guess you would
True.
still, the C corp would still be taxed, right? So at the corporate level. So I guess that's where it helps to switch the business, the legal entity type after the fact. But definitely things to discuss with a CPA and maybe with a business attorney as well. The whole
Yes,
"don't do this at home, kids" kind of disclaimer,
I agree.
or "don't do it
Yeah,
please by yourself at home." Uh,
yeah.
so, Greg, I love that. This is stuff that most people really don't understand and never knew this was an option. And especially when you start getting into the mechanics of buying additional shares and the share price is going up, and how to really structure this in a tax friendly way. So, thank you for that, Greg. In 30 seconds or less, how do you help people, and how can people connect with you if they want to take you up on that help?
Thank you, Brian. I teach successful executives and investors how to investigate franchises the right way with clarity, structure, and insider knowledge. You can get a hold of me by just reaching out to me at greg@franchisemaven.com. That's franchise maven, MAV as in Victor, EN.com. Website is franchisemaven.com, or just pick up the phone and give me a call at 361-772-6401.
Greg, thank you so much for coming in today. And guys, if you got a fresh perspective out of this episode, please subscribe to the show, rate it, review it, pass it on to your friends, family members, neighbors, colleagues. We love all that stuff. We want to get in front of as many people as we can, and help them learn more about money, because they don't teach this stuff in school, right? Lastly, consider joining the Co-Investing Club. We meet every month, sometimes twice a month, to vet a new passive real estate investment together as a club. And then any of our members who want to go in on it can do so with $5,000 or more instead of the typical 50 or 100 grand. So on that note, stay weird, unconventional investor, and we'll catch you next time.